Hi, I'm Amy.
I'm Laura.
And we are TwoPaperGirls.
Today we're doing a bit of a different video. I hate it when people say that, but I've just said it. We're doing a bit of a different video in that we're going to talk about our internship experiences, because we're at that kind of age where you can't get the job you want because you don't have experience, but then internship's also really competitive. And I did one at the end of summer, Amy did one at the start of summer, and our friend Leah was chatting to her on Twitter, and I mentioned that I'd just done one. She said she'd find it really interesting for us to do a video about it, so we are.
I think a good place to start is how we actually got the internships. Mine was a marketing and publicity internship with a charity called the Lending Centre, which was just down the road from me, so it was really well localised and a really, really good cause. And I got it through the university, but that meant there was like a really competitive application system. I had to send an application off, and I sent like loads. I sent like 20.
It's like uni-wide, just general paid summer internships across the whole uni. I applied for one that I didn't get, but I wanted to apply for loads more, but it was during, the application time was during assessment time and exam time, so time got away with me, but you were really organised and did like 20.
I got into it. It was crazy because I was like, I narrowed it down to like 20 that I thought I would be happy to do, and then I got like about 10 interviews, and I ended up turning a few down because I was just like, I'm too tired, I'm too stressed, like I can't keep doing interviews because they do wear you down, they're very stressful. And I just was like, I'm going to narrow it down and just cancel them and be like, they're too far away, or they're too difficult to get to, or they're too long as well, because I didn't want like a 10-week internship over summer, because mine was 4. And it was really, really lovely. And the interview was actually the first one that I had. So it's kind of like a good tip for internships is that your first interview, your first gut instinct, if you like it, just go for it. Like, don't worry about if something better comes up afterwards and then you'd be like regretting it. Just decide what you want to do, fix your mind on it, and then don't regret whatever decision you go to make.
I also advice would be, don't worry about getting an internship that is like exactly related to what you want to do, because we both are generally interested in publishing, and marketing and stuff is just a good general, like there's not many like publishing internships, so it's good to just generally get like marketing or anything generally related to it. So that's why like Amy's not particularly interested in like sports and gyms and stuff like the Lending Centre did, and mine was at the end of summer. Mine wasn't kind of advertised or anything, I was just a bit lucky. Basically I had nothing to do all summer, so I was like, right, I'm going to build up my CV, I'm going to try and get a job, I'm going to do some volunteering. So I volunteered at the library for their summer reading challenge, which I think was like across the UK, so you might have heard of it. It's basically to get little kiddies to read 6 books over summer. And through that I joined a group called Reading Hack, which is also kind of across the country, for people like 13 to 24, 13 to 19, that kind of age to get involved in the library. And for International Youth Day, they got someone really important from the council, head of communications, to come in and talk to us, and we told her our ideas, and she was really, really impressed with all of our ideas. And I kind of mentioned in passing, like, she was like, oh, we need young people like you to work in the council and everything, and I was just kind of like in passing, like, oh, I'd work for you, I'm looking for internships and experience and stuff. So she emailed people for me, and after a few weeks of kind of emails, I got an interview with marketing communications at Warwickshire County Council. That went really well. And then 2 weeks later I had just a week-long one. It probably could have been longer, but I was coming back to uni. If it was like midsummer, I probably would have done it for 2 to 4 weeks, or however long they'd have me, really. That was really, so that's what I was doing. I was helping out with marketing communications, but they got me lots of experience with book and libraries, because that's what I'm mostly interested in.
It's a really good point, actually. Just get whatever you can, like that sort of around it, because it's not an internship at the minute, but I'm the new copy editor, well, one of, for her campus magazine in Nottingham, and I just have to make track changes on people's articles that they send in, and it's really, really fun because I like to write, and I used to do creative writing, but over the years I've just decided that I just prefer to read than to write. So reading and editing would be the best job for me. But everyone says oh, the best job would be to just read books and just edit them, and it's just so difficult to get. But copy editing for magazines is something I would never thought of I would enjoy. The tester for the application I was just so excited over, and I just really enjoyed it. It's just opened like a new door for me, so I just was really excited to get involved with that.
I think also looking for internships, you might think you know what you want to do, but once you actually have a go at it, an internship or a work experience, you might realise actually you don't enjoy it that much, or equally you do something that's vaguely related and you actually really, really enjoy it, like Amy's example of the magazine. She hadn't thought that before. So doing internships actually kind of opens your eyes to what jobs exist and what you might enjoy. Like, I would never think of working for the council, but after spending a week there, I'm like, everyone's lovely. It's really exciting and constantly changing because there's always new events and new things going on. So it's not like every day is completely different. So I am really considering kind of looking for a graduate internship after I finish uni at the council, because, you know, it's a pretty like fixed job, and I'm interested in publishing, but publishing's really hard to get into. So I think you've also just kind of got to think, if you enjoy it, you can maybe work there for a few years. Like, you haven't got to make your mind up. You can work somewhere for 5 years and move on and work somewhere else. Like, it's not like you have to go straight into being an editor at Penguin, else you're never going to get there. Like, you can do other stuff for a few years just to raise money and get experience in different things.
I know, because we wanted to, like, I really liked the idea of working for Penguin and like Hatchet Publishing, but now they've done we just randomly pick people for work experience. That's just put me off, because I'm just like, well, don't you want the best people for work experience?
Yeah.
And I can see where they're coming from, like, it does widen opportunity. But I'm just like, when we've worked so hard to try and get into it, and then they've just made it so much more difficult and just more randomised, it just makes me feel like, well, it's just going to be luck now. And like internships, like, you can be lucky, you can get something, but it's what you do when you're there.
Yeah, you've got to make the most of it. You've got to, you know, it is scary as hell. Like, I had to get up really early and get 2 hours worth of buses every day to 4 hours of buses to get there and back. And I knew it was going to be knackering, but I'm like, I've got this 1 week, you know, this is such a good opportunity, and you just got to try and be confident. No matter how nervous you are, just try and be really confident and be like, talk to everyone. If someone says, oh, if you fancy a chat, then like take them up on that. And you're just finding out about all the different jobs, because so many jobs exist you don't think about, because when you're younger it's like, people are firemen or doctors or whatever, you know, there's so many jobs that exist that you probably really enjoy that you don't even know about until you kind of have experience there.
But like, we do English, so it's like, oh, you're going to be a teacher of English.
Yes, you're going to be a teacher and author. It's like, no.
And people are like, oh, English, what are you going to do with that? How are you going to get a job in English? It's like, English is probably the most broad job opportunity degree you can do. We could go into anything.
Yeah, apart from maybe science.
Oh yeah, that's science.
You know, everyone needs well-written articles and documents, and we have really good writing skills, planning skills, researching skills. Like, these things apply to so many different stuff. So don't worry if you're not doing a degree or a course which directly leads into a job, because that doesn't mean the skills you get aren't good. So
those are our like tips and our general experience with our internships, and we hope this has helped you if you're considering one or you're in one and you just want a bit of how to cope and how to like make yourself be seen.
If you've got any questions about, like, we've kind of briefly covered lots. If you want any more like details about specific things, then just ask in the comments. And equally, if you're panicking that you haven't had an internship yet or you don't know what you want to do, like, don't worry, there's plenty of time. Like, until 3 weeks ago or something, I hadn't done an internship either, and I was like, God, Amy's done 2 and she's got all this experience and I'm so behind, and now I'm like, my CV looks quite nice. I've had a job, I've had volunteering, and I've had a proper internship with a good company within a few months. So you can easily like turn things around and make your CV look more impressive. So don't fret if you feel behind, like you'll get something.
So that's everything I've got to say, and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.